Class 7 Foundation Course Series. This is part 2 of Nutrition in Animals. Links for part 1 and other Foundation Course videos are in the description. Check that out. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and if not subscribed, what are you doing? Click the subscribe button now. Let's get started. As always, let's start with concept map. I've got comments asking to display all the pages, so stay tuned and watch till the end where I display all the pages of this chapter. In animal nutrition, modes of feeding in different animals have already been covered in part 1. So, in part 2, we are going to see this human digestive system in detail. So, human digestive system. It is divided into two. Is divided into two: alimentary canal, second one is digestive glands. Alimentary canal is also called as digestive tract. Let's see this in detail. The alimentary canal and the associated digestive glands together constitute human digestive system. The process of digestion in human beings involves both mechanical and chemical action. So the alimentary canal consists of buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, sixth anus. Digestive glands consist of salivary glands, which is present in our mouth, gastric glands, which is present in our stomach, liver and pancreas, which secretes digestive juices. Fourth is inner wall of small intestine. This also secretes digestive juices. The food gets gradually digested as they pass through different compartments of this alimentary canal. Okay, finally it will get digested. So coming to the process of digestion in human beings. Process of digestion of human beings is divided into two. So the process of digestion in human beings involves both mechanical and chemical actions. Mechanical digestion is the physical breakdown of food by chewing and churning of food. You would have heard chewing, which we do with our mouth and teeth, but where does this churning happens? Okay, I want you to grab your friend who is just beside you watching this video, probably. Or you can take your mother as your experiment subject and lie down on her stomach and try to keep calm and listen. When you listen, you can hear her stomach doing this churning action to digest her food. So this churning happens in the stomach and the lower part of it, that is large intestine, small intestine and large intestine. So that is mechanical action. What in chemical actions, enzymes are secreted. In chemical actions, chemical digestion, chemical compounds called enzymes secreted by different organs and glands of the digestive tract break down large and complex substances like carbohydrates, fats and proteins into their simplest form. Carbohydrates are converted into simple sugar, that is glucose, fats into fatty acids and glycerol, and proteins are converted into amino acids. The time taken for food to go from mouth to anus varies from person to person but can range from 12 to 48 hours depending on type of the food eaten. So let's understand the role of different parts of digestive tract during the journey of our food through this. So coming back to the concept map, in the human digestive system alimentary canal, the first topic that we are going to see is mouth and buccal cavity. In human beings, food is taken in or ingested through mouth opening. The inner portion of mouth is called as buccal cavity. Buccal cavity contains various structures such as teeth and tongue. The process of digestion starts in buccal cavity the moment we chew the food. The process of chewing food, which involves movement of jaws and teeth, is called as mastication. It breaks down food into smaller pieces and allows the mixing of saliva with it. This is called as mechanical digestion of food. Chemical digestion of food in mouth is done by saliva. Saliva is a digestive juice secreted by 3 pairs of salivary glands present in the mouth. Saliva moistens the food and makes the chewed food slippery. This helps in swallowing the food easily. Saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase. It helps in breakdown of starch, the complex carbohydrates of food, into simple sugars that are easier to digest. Saliva secreted by salivary glands is slightly acidic in pH of 6.8. About 1000 to 1500 ml of saliva, that is 1 to 1.5 liters of ml of saliva is secreted per day in a normal human being. Next, they have given an activity corner to show that saliva breaks down starch into sugars. You can pause this video and check this out. We will move on to the next, teeth. Teeth are of 4 types: incisors, canines, premolars and molars. Incisors, they are the front teeth. These 4 are called as incisors. Okay, incisors are front teeth. These are chisel shaped and are used for biting and cutting. Canines, on the either side of the incisors there are present sharp pointed teeth called canines. So these 2 are called canines. Premolars and molar, these teeth are present behind the canines. So these teeth are present behind the canines. These are broad and strong with almost flat surface. Molars are larger than premolars are. So these are molars. So molars are larger than premolars. Both premolars and molars are used for crushing and grinding food. There are 4 incisors, 2 canines, 4 premolars and 6 molars in each jaw. So we can say that there are 8 incisors, 4 canines, 8 premolars and 12 molars in the mouth of an adult human. Each tooth is rooted in a separate socket in the gum. The white substance that covers our teeth is called enamel. Enamel is the hardest substance of our human body. Here they have tabulated and shown you. A competition window is given. You can pause the video, check it out. Next, in the digestive system, we are going to see tongue. Tongue is a fleshy muscular organ attached to the back of the floor of buccal cavity. It is free at the front and can be moved in all directions. The surface of the tongue is not smooth. It is quite rough due to the presence of large number of tiny bumps called taste buds that detect different tastes of food. The structure of all these taste buds are identical. There are 4 known tastes that are detected by the taste buds. There is sweet, salty, sour and bitter. Although these tastes are detected by all the taste buds, some regions of the tongue have a slightly higher sensitivity to some tastes than others. This is because some parts of the tongue may be able to detect a taste before the others do. Tongue performs the following function. So what are the function? The tongue helps us to taste the food. It moves food in our mouth between the teeth for chewing. It mixes saliva with food while chewing. It helps us swallow the food. There's a small activity corner given. You can check it out. Next is esophagus or food pipe. The tongue pushes the food from the mouth towards the pharynx. Pharynx is a common passage of food and air. The moist ball of food called bolus, when swallowed, reaches the food pipe or esophagus. The human esophagus is about 25 cm long muscular tube. It runs along the neck and the chest. Its function is to transfer the food from pharynx to the stomach. The muscle of esophagus gently pushes down to the stomach in a wave-like action, contraction and relaxations. Contraction and relaxations called as peristalsis. Actually, this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal to push the food forward. Direction of the peristalsis movement is reversed during the vomiting when due to some factors such as taking stale food instead of moving downwards is pushed upwards, leading to vomiting. Next, in the digestive system, it is stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped, thick-walled bag-like structure. This is the widest organ of alimentary canal. It receives food from the food pipe at one end and opens into small intestine at the other end. The inner lining of the stomach secretes digestive juices or gastric juices, which contains mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive enzymes. The functions of stomach. The thick muscular wall of stomach contracts to churn the food and mix it with the digestive juice produced by the stomach. A mucus protects the lining of the stomach from the action of digestive enzymes and acids. Hydrochloric acid, HCl, kills bacteria that enter stomach along with food, and it makes the medium in the stomach acidic to help the digestive enzymes to act. Digestive juice of the stomach contains digestive enzymes, example pepsin, which causes the breakdown of proteins into simpler substances called as amino acids. Partial digestion of food occurs in the stomach. Food is stored in the stomach for few minutes to few hours depending on the type of food you have eaten. When food leaves stomach, it is a thin paste which is then moved down to small intestine where most of the digestion takes place. There is a competition window given. Next comes liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. So these are the digestive glands. So we have completed the alimentary canal. Now we are going to the second part of the digestive process, which is digestive glands: liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland in the body. Largest gland in the body is liver. It performs many important functions. The liver secretes bile juice, which is stored in an elongated sac-like structure called gallbladder. So bile juice is produced by the liver, and it is stored in gallbladder. Okay, so bile is not an enzyme. It does not digest the food chemically. It plays an important role in the digestion of fats. Breaks up fats into tiny droplets that can be digested and absorbed more easily. The digestive juices then act on these tiny droplets to form simpler compound known as fatty acids and glycerol. Bile also helps in neutralization of acidity of semi-solid food that comes from the stomach. The pancreas. Next we are going to see pancreas. Pancreas is a long, narrow, pale pink colored gland situated behind the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrates, fats, and proteins and changes them to simpler forms called as into glucose, fatty acids plus glycerol, and amino acids respectively. Next we are going to see small intestine. Small intestine is the longest portion of alimentary canal. It covers over 7.5 meters long and highly coiled. The digestion, imagine 7.5 meters is inside our stomach. So it is highly coiled. The digestion of food is completely in small intestine. It receives bile juice from liver and pancreatic juice from pancreas, and also secretes several digestive juices in the intestine. It is called as intestinal juices of its own. Thus, when partly digested food from the stomach reaches a small intestine, it is mixed with bile, pancreatic juice, and intestinal juice, and then the completion of digestion of all the complete digestion of all the components of food takes place. Functions of small intestine listed here. Proteins are break down into amino acids. Carbohydrates are broken down into simple sugar such as glucose. Fats are hydrolyzed into fatty acids and glycerol. Absorption of digestion food takes place in the intestinal wall. Did you know is given? Next, absorption of digested food in small intestine. So, the digested food can be utilized by our body only if it gets absorbed. The digested food can pass into the blood vessels in the walls of the intestine. This process is called as absorption. The digested food can pass into the blood vessels in the walls of the intestine. This process is called as absorption. Absorption of food occurs through thousands of finger-like outgrowth in the inner walls of the small intestine. These are called as villi. Singular villus. The villi increase the surface area for absorption. See, imagine if our small intestine is just like a tube like this. The surface area over here is this much. But imagine if you have millions of projections like this. Millions of projections like this, the surface area is increased. So that's why we have this villi. Okay, so the villi increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. A blind-ended nymph vessel called lacteal also occurs in each villus of the small intestine. Digested fats are absorbed into the lacteals. Food absorbed on the surface of the villus passes into the blood in the capillaries. That's how we absorb the digested food, nutrients from the digested food. Assimilation. So in the Holozoic Nutrition, in the 5th step, the 4th step is assimilation. The absorbed nutrients are transported via blood vessel to different organs of the body, where they are used to build the substance for growth, generate energy, repair a worn out body. This is called as assimilation. When the digested nutrients are absorbed into the and then used for repairing and regeneration and growth, it is called as assimilation. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed enters into the large intestine. Fate of absorbed nutrients. So what happened to the absorbed nutrients? It is given over here: carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Carbohydrates. During digestion, carbohydrates are broken down to glucose, which is used as source of energy by the body. Glucose is oxidized to release energy inside the cells. Excess of glucose is stored in the cells of liver. Excess glucose is stored in the cells of liver. Proteins. During digestion, proteins are broken down into amino acids. The amino acids are used to build new living material of the body. Fats. Fats are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol during the digestion. Fats are also stored in the storage deposits in various parts of our body. So this is what happens to the absorbed nutrients. Next, we will move on to large intestine. The large intestine is wider and shorter than small intestine. It is about 1.5 meters in length. Large intestine is called large because its diameter is greater than the small intestine. Its function is to absorb water and some salts. So large intestine, water and salts get absorbed from the undigested food material. Here, most of the water present in the undigested food material is absorbed. The waste food, which is now semi-solid, is stored in the last part of the large intestine called the rectum. It is then passed out of the body through anus in the form of feces. This is called as egestion. This is the last step, egestion. So large intestine, the water and the salts get absorbed, and then the undigested food is stored in rectum, and then it passed through opening called as anus as feces. This process called as egestion. So extra did you know column and a competition window is given. Also, some question answers are illustrated over here. We are moving on to the next topic, digestion in ruminants. Ruminants are hoofed plant eating, that is herbivores, mammals, which include cattle, cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, deer, yak, etc. They have a unique digestive system that allows them to better use of energy from fibrous plant material than other herbivores. So how they can do this process of regurgitation, that is, they will first initially if you observe a cow, they will just graze, that is chewing the grass, and then it quickly swallows. It keeps swallows the grass without chewing without chewing it. So it goes directly into its first chamber, and then when it is, after some time, when it is free, when the grazing is done, it will sit and then regurgitate. It will bring back the food to its esophagus, probably the mouth, and then completely chew it, then swallow and digest. This process of that bringing back the partially chewed, it is called as curd, and curd chewing animals are called as the process is called as rumination, and the animals which does this rumination are called as ruminants. So this unique process happens in cow, cattle and goat, sheep, yak, etc. So let's see the chambers of the stomach. Stomach of these animals consist of 4 chambers. What are they? Rumen, reticulum, omasum, abomasum. Okay, during grazing, they quickly swallow plenty of grass without much chewing. This is an adaptation in which they need very little time for feeding. The food is partially chewed and mixed with saliva. This partially chewed food is sent to rumen, the large sac-like structure. Here, partially digestion of food takes place, and it harbor large population of anaerobic bacteria. Anaerobic bacteria means which does not need oxygen to survive. Anaerobic bacteria which helps in the fermentation of food. So this is the difference that why we can't have, if you eat a sugar cane, you just squeeze, chew and then swallow the sugar syrup and then chew out the sugar cane, right? We don't swallow the whole sugar cane, and we don't swallow the whole sugar cane because we don't have that capacity to digest those cellulose, which is the complex carbohydrates which is present in the plants. But cow have this because they have this anaerobic bacteria which can digest this cellulose with the help of cellulase enzyme. Okay, here they have written. Okay, these microorganisms produces enzyme called cellulase which helps in the digestion of cellulose, a complex carbohydrate present in the grass. Okay, this partly digested food is called as cud, is then pushed into the second chamber, reticulum. In fact, the rumen and reticulum closely associated, the contents mix freely. Here the contents mix freely. When the animal is resting, the pulpy curd is brought back into the mouth in small quantities and the animal chews it further. This process is called as rumination, and these animals are called as ruminants or cud-chewing animals. Cud-chewing mammals. After completely chewed, the food is sent to other part of the stomach, that is abomasum and omasum, and ultimately to intestine for complete digestion of and absorption of nutrients. So this is the digestion in ruminants. Okay, so the difference, as I explained, ruminants are able to digest cellulose because they contain bacteria in their stomach which produces enzyme cellulase. Okay, human beings cannot eat and digest cellulose as they do not have cellulose digesting bacteria in their stomach or intestine. Next topic is diarrhea or ORT. Diarrhea is a condition of passing 3 or more loose or liquid stools per day. It is caused due to the infection of bacteria, etc. It spreads through contaminated, that is unclean or polluted water, and poor hygienic conditions. It is very common in India due to the lack of proper hygiene and poverty. It leads to loss of fluids from the body, that is dehydration, which may even prove fatal, particularly in young children. Diarrhea should not be neglected. The patient should be rehydrated by giving oral rehydration solution. ORS is a mixture of drinking water, salt and sugar, which can be prepared very easily at home. Key measures to prevent diarrhea are access to safe drinking water, improved sanitation, personal and food hygiene, education about infection spread. Oral rehydration therapy is a type of fluid replacement used as a treatment for rehydration. It involves drinking water mixed with sugar and salt while continuing to eat. When rehydration is severe, therapy includes a supplement zinc also. Since its introduction and development for widespread use in the later part of 20th century, ORT has decreased human deaths from dehydration. Here 2 illustrated question answers are given. So we have reached the last part of this video. Hope you have understood the concepts explained in this. Next video, I will tell you a simple method to draw this diagram. They will be asking this diagram, human digestive system. So I will explain in detail how to easily draw this and get full marks. Stay tuned for that. As I have promised, I will include the video of this chapter. Check that out. Hope you like it, and also don't forget to share, like, and of course subscribe. Meet you soon in the next video. Until then, bye.